I guess where are you from?
I'm from the Niagara region. Yeah, in Ontario.
I'm from northern Ontario. And I'm from Elora, Ontario.
Awesome. And is it your first time playing the Vancouver Jazz Festival?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's our fourth time. We played this 4 times. We played it. I think we played the very first year. I think it was like 30 years ago we did, and we were a little bit younger then. And
it was actually before there was actually a jazz festival. I think
in fact,
we were already here.
In fact,
playing something.
And there was no such thing called jazz.
No.
There was that thing called Dixieland. We took it to a place that no one had ever heard before. They said, "Oh my God, what's going on?" I said,
"Oh my gosh."
Oh my gosh. And I said, "We're going to do it. We're going to burn this town down." And we did. That was 35 years ago.
So you guys are pioneers of the Jazz Festival here.
We're pioneers of a lot of things. Yeah. That's a big one.
And how's your experience this year been so far?
The bed's nice. My bed is about, it totally takes up my 6'4" frame. If I was 6'4" and like a centimeter after that, or an inch, I'll keep it the same thing, standard. My foot wouldn't work, so it works perfect for me.
And I hang about 3 inches over.
Really? You're shorter than I am.
And there's no bed bugs.
That's good.
No bed bugs. I think it has a lot to do with the kind of trees you have here. There's always water moving here too. Oh, because the water's always moving. There's no mosquitoes. People know that. And the water moves. There's no bed bugs.
That's why there's no mosquitoes in Stanley Park.
Yeah, because the water's moving.
Is that right? Is that a local phenomenon?
There's
no mosquitoes here.
You don't live here.
There are mosquitoes.
Oh, we
go up the mountain on the North Shore where I live, mosquitoes.
Oh,
but not like they have in Edmonton where he's from.
Yeah, I'm from Edmonton.
A lot of mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's why he left.
Where I'm from, near Sudbury.
Oh, I know Sudbury.
Oh, me too. I would
Killer.
never live there if you paid.
Killer. Are you francophone in Sudbury?
Barely.
Me?
We?
Boy, you really sold that. You really sold. Yeah.
Said with an English
Yep.
accent.
Yeah, said with a very
Yeah.
Je parle français.
Oui, très bien. Avec un accent de la...
Avec un accent.
Quack, quack.
Quack French.
Yeah, go ahead. Go do your thing, right?
So I've been asking through the festival a lot of the bands, especially international bands, how the music or jazz scene differs from their countries to here in Canada. Do you notice any differences or similarities between West Coast and East Coast?
What did they say?
Well, we've gotten a lot of different answers.
Okay, well, I would say there definitely is. The West Coast scene, well, there's always been this thing between the West Coast and the East Coast. I mean, that goes back eons. And it still exists. I don't know if there's an edge everywhere, which is great, because at one time things that were from the West were considered more smooth, and things that were from East were not. They were on one edge, but now that's changed because everybody's a little bit on edge. No matter where you live, there's a little bit of edge, but I think there's still a different sound, the West Coast sound, the East Coast sound. For sure, I don't know how to define it, but I definitely would think that there's something in its probably in its roughness, probably. Maybe the East might be a little bit rougher, not as slick.
And
I just made that up. I don't know what.
I have a question for you.
I was going for it.
What are your thoughts on jazz festivals are expanding into crossover genres, other genres, Lucinda Williams, Steve Earles. What are your thoughts on mixing it up, and how does that fit with jazz and blues, or does it, in your opinion?
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, it confuses everybody. Like Steve Earle, what the hell? No, I think it's fantastic. I think folk festivals did that too. The umbrella of a folk festival, you had, quality music, for Pakistan, and you had dervish dancing, and then you had Fred Eaglesmith, and the crowds and you have this in the same day on the same stage, and people love it. So I don't know why the influence of jazz is everywhere. Not that Steve Earle's going to sing Satin Doll, but I do think that jazz artists appreciate that because the musicians really appreciate it. I think Bill Evans, the saxophone player Bill Evans, made a record with all bluegrass musicians. So that stuff is all cross-pollinating.
Yeah, and I think the biggest, the biggest jazz festival ever, or the first jazz festival that I ever really heard of was the Montreux Jazz Festival, and they dropped the jazz part from that for the last 25 years now. It's just the Montreux Music Festival.
And in fact, they haven't dropped the jazz. They still have it, but nobody sees it that way. Isn't that interesting?
Wow, what they
Yeah, their logo still has jazz in it, and yet nobody understands or sees that festival as a strictly regimented
Do you know
jazz
why?
festival.
Because the jazz is written really small.
Yeah, they brought it down, but it's still
No, but like it's
there.
micro.
Yeah.
It's just in the corner of the poster.
Is that cool though?
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really cool.
And have you had a chance to see any of the bands that have been here?
Yeah. Well, we saw.
We saw Christian McBride.
Christian McBride last night. That was amazing. That was really good. And then we jammed with some local musicians here. We went to a rave.
At O'Doul's?
No, it was a private space. We went. It was fantastic. It was
Like
great.
a loft space.
A loft space.
Doorbell on the ceiling.
The ceiling.
Secret
Cool.
doorbell.
It was really good, and we did that. But that's all we've seen. But Christian was a full an adult dose. It was fantastic. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.